Welcome to Kevo Media Podcast Series.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here.
Can you tell us a bit about your background and how you got involved in the youth leadership?
Okay, thank you so much for having me. My name is Comrade Emmanuel Olai. I am currently the state chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria. My journey into youth leadership spanned over a decade plus. Back in the university, we were active in the leadership, where we held several offices. I can remember clearly that I served as faculty president. Later, I was elected by 114 others as the Speaker of the Student Union Government in the University of Calabar, one parliament that actually did so much on my leadership because we had 114 people from different faculties in the university coming together to discuss issues as it affects the welfare of students. And then I've served in different other areas, uh, in different the level of leadership, NANS and all. And then my foray into the National Youth Council started way back in 2010, 2011, where I was nominated by some of our leaders who are in the National Youth Council into a committee to serve. And we served in that committee. Fast forward to years after, I was also nominated into a committee in the state where we were saddled with the responsibility to organize and plan for an election. Then the leadership zoning pattern moved to Cross River North. Not just Cross River North, my federal concern where I come from, and I saw myself fit to take the task as state chairman. I came out, aspired and campaigned and then presented myself. And by God's providence, this July last year, I was elected as the chairman of the youth council. So it's been a long journey to where I am. And I've been an individual whose love for leadership is top notch. I've followed also, I've served, and today I'm I'm the state chairman of the youth council. It's been a journey.
Thank you. Okay, what inspired you to join the National Youth Council of Nigeria and eventually become the state chairman?
Oh yes, the National Youth Council for me, what inspired me to come into the National Youth Council way back is I saw the level of organization of the National Youth Council of Nigeria as an umbrella youth body. I saw how organized, how structured, and then the constitution of the Youth Council, when you look at it, is carefully written by very senior people in society today. It was carefully drafted to suit the yearnings of young persons with a clear focus on providing a platform for advocacy for youth development. Also, it also provides an opportunity or platform for young people to come in to exhibit the ability they have to lead others at that level. So that inspired me, and I have followed the activities for more than a decade.
Okay. What does the NYCN means to you personally and to the youth of Cross River State?
Wow, for me, as state chairman now and as an active player, one among the 37 state chairmen in Nigeria, as member of the national NEC, the youth council to me is not just any other youth body. It is an umbrella youth body where we should, as young persons, exhibit the right leadership skills. It means that if leadership is failing in other platforms in the country, in the world, around the world, but for the youth community, in the youth council, we should not allow leadership to fail. And by that, not doing things the wrong way. So it's a precious platform for me and for many other young persons out there because it has given us an opportunity to advocate, to engage, to exhibit the tenet or the capacity we have as young persons.
Okay. What are the major challenges facing your young people in Cross River State today?
Yeah. Now, for every society, there's bound to be challenges. In Cross River State, even with the efforts of the current leadership of the state, and then in Nigeria as it were, and all over, one of the major challenges is we share always that there are no jobs. Young people are looking for opportunities to take up. We have graduates, we have people who've had second degree, people who have PhDs, we have people who have even gotten skills, you know, but the jobs are not there. It is the jobs are reducing, you know, because for me, I feel that the jobs are reducing because of there are a lot of factors there. You know, technology has come in, and then even when the jobs are there, young people find it difficult to get opportunities if you don't struggle very hard. In Cross River State, it's a common challenge too. The opportunities, as much as leadership are trying to create these opportunities, they are not yet. We are not yet there. That's one of the major challenges. Yes, for employment, for us as leadership of youth in Cross River State, our duty first is to bring opportunities, make opportunities available or known to young persons. Where opportunities are, you make it known, because you know we have young people scattered across the state. Some are far in the far ends of the state, you know. So it now means that an opportunity will be out. Maybe a job portal is open. People who are in the far end of Cross River State may not be able to get that information. That's why in the youth council, our structure is across the 18 local governments and across the 196 ward. So what we do, we take this opportunity, share with them on different platforms to encourage young people to take it up. And then where we need to connect young people to mentors, where we need to connect young people to people who are already doing well in that area, we get them connected for guidance and all. And then another thing we do for education, I'm glad to share that as a state, um, we with a lot of gains that we've had. Remember that the only state-owned university was just University of Technology, and then because of the focus of the state, it has been converted to a conventional university where you have other programs coming in. And then very recently, the state government had approved through the instrumentality of the state assembly the formation, yeah, of a cross university of education and entrepreneurship, you know. So it means that for education now, the leadership is now focused on not just providing knowledge to people. They have also provided a formal platform where people will take up entrepreneurship studies, so that when we have an informal platform where people learn skills, you now have a formal platform. And then if you go to Cross River State, the level of interest of young people taking up different degrees and different courses is top notch. We have excellent young persons who are well read, and across the state, I can share that we have a youth community that is ready to take up challenge, even global challenges, and we have our gains to count. We have young people from Cross River State who are scattered across the world doing exploits.
Okay. Can you share some key program or project initiated since you assumed office?
Yes, by the grace of God, this July we will be one in office. We'll be 1 year in office, and ever since we came into office as a national youth council, umbrella youth body in the state, one of the first things we had established is that first we must establish a pathway for collaboration, you know. And so collaboration has given us lots of opportunities and gains. Collaboration has given us an opportunity for partnership with government, where we have dragged in a lot of training program for young persons. um, this collaboration has also afforded us an opportunity to partner with non-governmental organizations and youth-focused organizations, where we have trained a number of persons in tech, and when we came on board, we had organized a community-based outreach for the community that is housing the youth house, where we had organized a medical outreach where people were treated, young and old alike. In that outreach, people were able to identify people who needed medical intervention, major medical intervention like surgeries and all. And those who were listed and names forwarded to the Foundation of Our Excellency, Humanity Without Borders. These people, I can also share with us, had gotten treatment, major surgeries. Very recently, I was in office to appreciate her. So we had also conducted campaign and sensitization awareness across the state against vandalism and other vices. Recently, through the Ministry of Youth and partnership with the NDLEA, we had a workshop on drug abuse and all for young persons. We also organized educational outreaches where we had shared book materials to some schools, particularly in Odupani, in partnership with the leaders of Youth Council there. And we've also done a number of other engagements in the state. We had mobilized young persons to participate in agri trainings in Port Harcourt, in Nasarawa, through the various MDAs in the of the state government.
Okay, that's great. What role should young people play in governance and politics today?
Yes, for me, young people shouldn't just exist in their numbers. Know that we have a, by number, young people are more in number in Nigeria and across the world. We are not just more in number. We have the energy, we have the intellect, we have the innovation, we have the capacity, we have the drive, you know. So for young persons, we shouldn't just exist in our numbers, but we should be available to participate actively in the running of our country, in the running of our state, in the running of our local government. So by that I mean, as state chairman of Youth Council, I would like young persons in Cross River State not just to be careless about what is happening in the environment. You must make yourself available to participate at whatever level of leadership. And your contribution to whatever level of leadership you find yourself should be productive, should be constructive rather than destructive. So instead of the young person planning on how to bring the state down, to bring the local government down, to set the community ablaze by all of these vices, I feel that young persons can make themselves available to participate and then engage with the system. If there's anything that is wrong, I expect that young persons in Cross River State should, through the various channels, engage the authorities, collect these challenges that we have, and then take them to the appropriate quarters. So for young persons in Cross River State, get involved in the running of the state.
Okay, this is just a follow-up question to that. Do you think Nigeria politics create enough space for youth participation?
Yes, for me, as state chairman of Youth Council and the leader of and the umbrella youth body, I think that the space is there. The space is there, but as young persons, this space is not without challenges. If we have the energy and the strength and the number, and then you can go to your community, and you engage your fellow youth, and then they listen to you, and then you come back, and then you have people following you. Another thing you must not do is that you have to be strategic. So there's space for us, but the challenges of finance, the challenges of people who are before us not wanting to leave the space, the challenges of lack of assertiveness among a few number of young persons. But for Cross River State, where I come from, young persons are energetic, they are assertive, they are ready to take any challenge. That's why you can count a number of young persons that have been given opportunities in time past and even presently. That's why we can even refer to history when you hear that the likes of Senator Victor Ndomegba, the likes of His Excellency Governor Dunajuk, the likes of His Excellency Governor Liele Moke, and a number of other leaders who emerged in the scene at a very young age. You can even make reference to the senator from the Southern Central District who came into office as a very young person. You can count the number of young persons who were in the last administration and they did so well. You can count a number of persons who are currently serving in the current administration, not just in government, even in the private sector. You can count a number of young persons who are entrepreneurs in Cross River State and the world at large who are doing excellently well. So for me, there is space for young persons in Cross River and in Nigeria, but not without the common challenges. But we have to overcome the challenges by confronting the challenges head on.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, how is the council engaging with local government areas and communities at the grassroots?
Yeah. Now, the grassroots leadership of the Youth Council is one of the paramount because all of the major activities, all of the major happenings happen at the local government level, the village, the local government, the ward, and the communities. And so the Youth Council is structured in such a way that we have our leadership across the 18 local governments of Cross River State and the 196 ward. And now we're even moving down to create community-based youth organizations where we now have leadership at the smallest unit. So that when there is an issue coming up from the smallest unit, there should be a report or a link between the community-based organization to the ward and then to the local government, then to the state. And so now we had provided an opportunity to create sensitization orientation for the new youth leaders that we have. We had emphasized to them that as youth leaders, your duty is advocacy, and advocacy does not mean to bring down. Advocacy means to partner, advocacy means to engage constructively. So we have charged them to be ready to partner with the local government. That's why in the north of Cross River State, I can share with you that the youth leadership in the Cross River North, they had come together, they have designed a program where they want to engage with other youth for them to be on alert with the occurrence in the Benue and other neighboring states. And then we have situations where youth leaders step in to situations where you have crisis. They partner with the paramount rulers, that's the traditional institution, then the local government, even the security. As I speak to you, the youth leader for one of our local governments in the Central Senatorial District recently visited the crisis area in the local government, engaging with the youth leaders there, because we are the ones that have the energy, So engaging with them now, trying to broker peace between parties and all. And then even in the Central Senatorial District, the youth leadership there are engaging to the various level. And so we have a structure such that if they have been empowered significantly, we can curtail any crisis, we can curtail any difficulty, we can curtail any uprising in Cross River State, which is by way of networking and then sharing of information sharing and alert. Recently I was with the Commissioner of Police and I shared with him a local government in the central. The youth council came up with the idea of a voluntary youth group where they're focusing on security. So their duty is to man the community, report where you have where the security agencies have difficulty entering. The youth can get there. So they can go there and say, okay, this is what we have. And then, but even before we get to the situation where we have crime, we have young persons who are working too hard to avert problems. And then up to the state where I lead as state chairman, we are there now to link up with the authorities to say, okay, this is what we have here. But paramountly, security of our territory, information sharing, and then sensitization of young persons against all of these vices. That is how far we've partnered with the authorities from the local government to the state.
Okay, so what is your relationship like with the Cross River State government and other youth-focused bodies?
Yes, the relationship of the National Council with the state. If you permit me to give a rating by myself as state chairman, let me not try to be like the lizard. But if I want to be like the lizard, I would like to say that the leadership currently led by His Excellency Senator Prince Bassey Ededu II, who is our grand patron. The relationship is excellent, is cordial, it has been productive. We've had a number of support constantly from the state government. I've enjoyed a number of training, I've enjoyed a number of sponsorship to travel to participate. And there's no activity we do as a state that the state government will not be interested in. The current leadership of the state have they are ready to churn out young persons who are leadership ready, because the governor will always say that they won't be there forever. And so they are paying particular interest on youth development through the Ministry of Youth Development, where we are, that is our supervisory ministry. So that relationship has been excellent, and that has resulted to number of achievements. As I speak, the state government are provided an enabling playing field. One of such is in the course of our elections, there was zero or minimal interference. Yes, because the state government believed that the youth can choose for themselves who will lead them, not the governor. Nobody interfered, and by the grace of God, we emerged and we've enjoyed maximum support, and we look forward to even more of this support. And then another thing again is this support has provided a channel of communication between the Youth Council as the umbrella youth body and the government. The communication pathway is very excellent, so that if there's need for any intervention coming from the Youth Council, we communicate to the authorities, and they have been acting swiftly.